Primetime 2026 showed off a new teaser for Season 7 on the TV's secondary objectives. Half of the teaser shows off our new X-Pop for Season 7, and the other half, Cowboy Cool! In this video I want to break down and theorize on who this new X-Pop could be and how they'd work in the trials. Here's what we know. On the primetime TVs, we see a silhouette of this new enemy. It's pretty vague and I can't make out too much, just like the other primetime teasers from the past. But you can see some sort of mask or contraption on their face, along with strands of hair coming out the sides. Maybe these spikes on their head can be used as a weapon for like a headbutt attack. It also seems like they don't have any arms, or they possibly have them in a straitjacket. His head really reminds me of Victor Gideon from like Resident Evil 9, with that like thing on his head with the strands of hair coming out the sides. It's just very reminiscent of him for me. And the blind guys from Resident Evil 4. The devs have said in the past that this new X-Pop will change the way people play the trial.
We're also going to be introducing a new enemy X-Pop, which will change a bit the way you play.
And has been hyped up on multiple occasions. One key detail they have shared is the fact that the new X-Pop is a past concept that they are bringing back, which is really exciting to me, and I'm happy they're doing this.
There is a super cool new NPC type that will come up this year eventually.
What I am the most excited for next year is, like Hugo said, we're working on different NPC character, and especially one, throughout the years, we went through different concepts, different ideas, and some of them we just put them aside. We made them into 3D, but it never really got to go into the game. And right now we're looking at old concept and things that we did before, and that we, might think that this time we can put that into the game.
So assuming it's a concept we've seen, we can easily narrow this down. So, the past designs of enemies that still haven't seen the light of day would be Climber, Trickster, Whitehorn, and this cannibal dude tied to the ceiling. There may be some other ones, but those are the most likely and important ones. Being honest, there's pretty much only one clear answer here. It's really likely it won't be Climber, unfortunately, because as you can see, he has arms and doesn't have a mask unless they added it. I've been wanting him to come to the game, but, well, maybe next time. Trickster isn't also likely. Whitehorn, yeah, like that ever happened. It's obvious that's this concept right here. I'm actually happy about this because I've always liked this concept, but I never thought they'd add it since I don't think it ever had a name or a model that I can recall. They've always just been a concept, but I'm happy that they're finally possibly being added. But I'm not gonna lie, out of all the concepts, I'm kinda happy that they're adding him the most. It's not confirmed or anything, but like the straitjacket arms, the mask that looks wicked similar, it's cool how it almost looks exactly like the concept. For example, Pitcher looks pretty different from his original design. His original design, it shows like this cloth over his face, and like that chest vest looking thing is similar, but it's just mainly like what his face looks like is different. Because obviously Pitcher has like that weird like muzzle on his face that like spews out the fire and you see his hair and stuff. When the old design, it was just like a bag over his head. But no, they seem to be faithful to this X-Pop's original design. Another thing to note is how people think this new X-Pop will be the same enemy that was shown in the comics, where Clyde interrogated Doris with this cannibalistic patient around like the Amelia Breach era. Might be a coincidence or foreshadowing in a year in advance, but it's interesting to think about. So based on this artwork, how could they work? I highly doubt they will be another elevator enemy that temporarily comes out of the insurgent gates, like Pitcher and Jaeger, because assuming he's still tied to the ceiling since that was like the main gimmick from the concept, it just doesn't make sense to me how he'd end up tied to the ceiling after entering the trials from an insurgent gate. Which honestly makes me happy because the last enemy we've gotten that hasn't been a prime asset or an insurgent gate enemy was like the scapegoats back in 2023. But this is assuming that they won't change the chain to the ceiling gimmick. They could still be an insurgent gate enemy, but I just don't see it happening if they keep the original design, which so far seems like that's what they're going with. So I have a couple ideas on how they could work. If they are an enemy like Night Hunter and Berserker, where they're like present the entire trial, then maybe they'd hunker down in certain zones, unable to be lured away, and moves at high speeds. The only way to progress in those segments is to stun him or play really stealthily around him. What if you could do something to directly stop them as well? Maybe one of the reagents could possibly try and sneak up from behind and hold the chain for a short period of time, while the other reagents complete an objective he's guarding. I feel like if they play it right, he could be a really interesting enemy to go against. I do have a feeling that there will be more to him than meets the eye, because at the moment he's pretty similar to Berserker for basing it off of my theories, since Berserker also kind of hunkers down in certain zones as well. Since the developers said that he changed the way people play, I really think there's something special they have for this character that possibly no one has caught on to yet. But I mean, this is all I really have in my mind at the moment, so I mean, we're just gonna go with it. Another thing to mention is how the concept art calls him a cannibal, meaning maybe he could also try to eat the faces of the reagents that get too close, as well as headbutting them with this spike helmet looking thing. If he's an objective enemy, then things get a little bit different. On the primetime TVs, they also tease Coil on there as well, with a cowboy hat. The reason I mention this is maybe they have something to do with each other. All the other primetime teasers have only teased one singular thing. The only time it switched to images is the Crest Twins when it showed both Otto and Aurora. So this makes me think that he might be an objective enemy for Coil's new map. I thought how he would work is maybe in the center of his chain zone, there would be an objective of some sort you have to complete. If he has crazy speeds, then I think this could be pretty interesting. The art also shows that he gets stuck on boxes and objects, so maybe you can use them to your advantage with this character. But overall, I'm pretty stumped on how he could work. All the artwork really gives us is the fact that he's stuck to the ceiling and he's a cannibal. And if he is still a cannibal, I feel like that's really cool because I'm pretty sure the only other cannibal in the Outlast franchise is good old Frank, marinara sauce. I don't necessarily know what his last name is, but I've always liked this guy. I remember like years ago how bad he scared me with that stupid buzzsaw blade thing. My god, bro, he was iconic. I really like that guy. Yeah, but I really do think there'll be a lot more to him than what I said. It's just I'm kind of basing it off of like nothing because they haven't really given us a lot about the character. So, I mean, I'm kind of stuck here and I'm not, you know, really given a lot to speculate about. So if you guys have any theories, then definitely let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear them and, you know, maybe I missed some things that, you know, you guys didn't. So yeah, for sure, let me know if you guys have any ideas. And I'd appreciate if y'all could like, subscribe if this video is worthy enough. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year and I'm crossing my fingers I hit it. You know, it's been 5 years in the making. Alright, that's gonna be it for this video. Be sure to comment below any feedback you have in the video, you know, anything I should improve and change about like future videos and stuff. And you know, like I said, leave some theories down below because I try to look at all of them. I feel like this one went pretty great overall. Got some more theory videos coming out in the future, specifically the part 2 for Claus's theory, where we talk about the maps that he could have, along with talking about all the theories that you guys left in the comments of, you know, the last theory video. And another video I've planned is a new map theory for Coil. Yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for that. So yeah, take care you guys and have a good one. Peace.